So today's video is going to be the end of the year book tag. I saw Angelica Nykovich do this video and loads of people have done this tag. So let's just get straight into it. So we're going to start with the most disappointing book of the year. I don't think I've read anything majorly disappointing this year. There's not any books I've read that I thought were really disappointing. There's not really any books I've read that have been disappointing. There have been books I haven't understood, but I wouldn't say they've been really disappointing. Next, what is an underdog book? I feel like probably the most underdog book would be probably this book. This one is Jenny Coogan, The Little Happy Ever After. These books, Jenny Coogan's books, I feel like I see nobody online talking about her. I wouldn't say anybody talks about any of her books and that, but I really like her books. I've read The Bookshop on the Shore, I've read The Sunrise on the Sea, and then I want to read, and then I've also read this one, which is The Little Shop of Happy Ever After. I see no one ever talk about it, and then I want to read next of hers, The Midnight at the Christmas Bookshop, so I will have then read every book once I finish that one of hers that I have on my shelf. But this one I really enjoy because it's about bookworms. It's a book for bookworms about bookworms and that, and how there's nothing like curling up with a good book. And this book was written for readers. Nina is a bookworm who dreams of running her own little bookshop. But real life is a bit trickier than the stories Nina loves, as she discovers when she moves to the beautiful wild Highlands of Scotland to turn her dream into reality. I really find these books so cozy. Jenny Coogan, her books are so cozy. And they this is a different series to what I'd had been reading previously. It's moving just to see. There again, I think this is in a different series as well. Sunrise by the Sea and The Bookshop on the Seashore, they're different. They're the same two books in the same series, and then my other two books are two different series. What was an overhyped book you read? I don't think I've read anything. I don't know if I've read anything super that I would say is overhyped and it's worth. I'd say there's a certain book series, and there is one I'm currently reading right now from this series, but I am loving them. This book series by Laura Gilmer, I'm not even sure if it is a series, it's just different books. These books, these are probably the most hyped books I've read this year. These are the books that have the most hype. I don't read typically really hyped books, and I've dropped 2 books on the floor. Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, Pumpkin Spice Cafe. These even, I think, have had a lot of hype, and I really do enjoy them. I wouldn't say they're overhyped for a bad reason. I've loved reading them. This year was when I discovered my small town romance era. I've been loving reading the small town romance era. I enjoy it. It's only recently that I've got the more hyped books that you see on TikTok and BookTube on my shelf. It's only been recently that I've actually got these books on my shelf. so I'd say these, but not in a bad way. Like, I love them. Like, the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore is probably like my favourite. The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, I liked it, but I was kind of just getting into it, and it's these next two books that I've really gotten into the series. A book that surprised you. A book that has surprised me this year. I'm gonna go The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, mainly because I did not expect to be as into small town romance as I've been in. Like, this year's been the year for me of like small town romances. Like, this book has really surprised me in how much it's like gripped my interest. Like, I've read the next book and that, and then I've read the next book after that, and I'll probably read the next in the series. Yeah. Like, two of the books from the series are in like my Christmas TBR video. So that has definitely been a book that surprised you. Your favourite books of the year? I think in terms of my favourite books this year, I would say have been just having a look at what some favourite books have been. I've read so many that it's really hard to choose, because I've loved so many books this year. A favourite book I've like reread this year that I'm gonna have to say is Jenny Coogan, The Sunrise by the Sea. This book really solidified my love for the series. Like, this one really got me into the series. Like, I liked The Bookshop on the Shore, but I was very new to the series when reading that one. Like, this one I've read, I like really got invested. So that I'd say is a favourite. When she is given the opportunity to move to the remote tidal island off the Cornish coast, Marisa Rosier decides some peace and quiet might just be what she needed. Trigger warning bit. Since the death of her beloved grandfather, she's been struggling to find a way out of her grief. This one was so relatable at the end of last year to me. Perhaps this will be the perfect place for her to recuperate. But Mount Problem is a far cry from the sleepy little place she was imagining. Between her noisy piano teacher next door neighbour and the hustle and bustle of the busy community, Marisa finds solitude is not so easy to come by, especially when she finds herself somehow involved with a tiny local bakery desperate in need of some new zest to save it. This like just kept wanting me to like come back. This is like one that really stuck out to me. Then trying to pick one more book. I think probably another one that is one I read over the summer. Tender is the Night by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I really enjoyed this one. I wasn't sure I first got into, but I kind of knew I would because I really enjoyed The Great Gatsby. But this one is like, again, about the 1920s and that, but this is to do with like the rich side of the 1920s. The French Riviera in the 1920s is discovered by Dick and Nicole Diver, who turn it into the playground of the rich and the glamorous. Among their circle is Ramsay Hoyt, the beautiful starlet who falls in love with Dick and is interpreted by Nicole, unaware of the corruption and dark side that haunts their marriage. When Dick becomes tangled with Rosemary, he fractures the delicate structure of his relationship with Nicole, and the lust of their life together begins to tarnish. Tender as the Night is an exquisite novel that reflects not only Fitzgerald's own personal tragedy, but also the shattered idealism of the society in which he lived. So this is like the rich side of like 1920s society, and I really enjoyed this one. Like, I really enjoyed it. Like, this one's another great one, and I'd like to read more. Next question. Your favourite main characters of the year? Haven't really thought about a main character in a book this year. I'm trying to think, work out a favourite. Maybe because I like this book, I will have to say Hazel, because she like runs the Cinnamon Bun bookstore, and that. And just seeing like Hazel's not looking for romance, but she has chemistry with Noah. Like, what I like is everyone seems to just have chemistry in these books, because it's my favourite book. I've gone with my favourite character. Your favourite secondary character of the year? I think I'm gonna have to choose Noah, because obviously, like, Noah and her are like getting chemistry, because that's like my favourite book. Those are like my two favourite characters. Like, that's what I want to answer, because I don't always think about like main characters and that. Fave book quotes of the year. I don't really know any book quotes. Like, I don't know any, so unfortunately I don't know any. What is the happiest book you read this year? I feel like probably my happiest book I've ever read. I'm gonna go with this one. I finally read one of my Winnie the Pooh books. Once There Was a Bear. There must be a before said rabbit. When Christopher Robin was asked about before he came to the forest, and so begins the first of 10 tales that take readers back to the time when Pooh Bear sat in Harrods waiting to be bought by Christopher Robin, including a fairy tale in London Zoo, a tall tale at the Natural History Museum, and a tiny tale at the Nursery Mouse. This authorised pedicure steps into the young Christopher Robin's world, one of the den building treasures, seeking funny. Like, this book is just so nice. This is like this tale was just so happy. Like, this was just such a happy book. Like you just see them all together on the bed, and I'm like, this one's so happy. So I'm gonna have to say this one. But it's Winnie the Pooh. It's obviously gonna be happy. I have got one of the others to read as well of Winnie the Pooh. The most frustrating book you read this year? I don't know if I've read anything particularly that I've been so frustrated with. I don't think I've read anything frustrating. What's the longest book you've read this year? I'm gonna need to move some things so I can tell you definitely what my longest book is. Andy Warhol's Diary. Like, this is so long. Like, I've not got a book that's like over 1,000 pages. This is well over 1,000 pages. Like, this is big. Like, I could hardly pick it up when I first got it. So this is definitely the most longest book The best book adaptation of the year. I haven't read any books that came out this year that turned into a film, but I think what would be a good film, I'd say that would be the best book adaptation in my eyes, would be probably The Great Gatsby. Like this, I would love as a film. Like this would be a great book adaptation. Like I'd really like to see the film of this. And then another one would definitely be like Lemony Snicket. Technically, I've seen the second one and not the first one as a film, but it's like I do enjoy Lemony Snicket's books adapted into a film, so showing this one because it's like the one that I can get to, but I've seen like number 2 as a film, and I may have seen number 1 as a film, and they're really good adapted into films. What's the shortest book you've read this year? I think probably the shortest book I've read this year would be this one. This, I don't think, was like overrun. This was 126 pages, so this was quite short. This, I think, I would have said that originally, but I think that's more than 126 pages. Yeah, that's like 200 and something. So this would be my shortest book, because it's like it's 26 pages over 100. So I'd say this one was definitely my shortest book I've read this year. And maybe any of my Hollywood ones, they're quite short. Any of those ones on the shelf I've read this year. Your favourite cover of the year? This book I've not read yet, but I think probably my favourite cover, because of how well you can see the shop's decorated for Christmas, the Gingerbread Bakery. That, I just love seeing all of the decor and that. Like, this is probably my favourite cover. Like, I can't wait to read this one. Like, I will keep just buying and buying this series. Like, it's probably my favourite series of the year. A book you haven't stopped thinking about? What's a book I've not stopped thinking about this year? I think probably a book I've not stopped thinking about this year. That's a hard one. It's probably going to be Andy Warhol's diary, just probably because I thought mainly about how long it is and just sort of how much dedication there is to like keeping a diary for that long, like, and that, like, I've just thought about how long that is to like keep a diary and how, and to like read so much. Then probably a book I haven't stopped thinking about is another book. Any of these books, like, these books have just been, since I've got them, or something that I've thought about. Oh yeah, like, all day, literally, all I want to do is sit and read them. Like this book that I'm reading, The Christmas Tree Farm, like, all I do is think about reading it all day. So this has definitely been another book. An unpopular book you've loved? I don't know if I've read anything that I know of is super unpopular. Don't know if I've got any books that are like actively unpopular. Then the next one is like lowest rated on Goodreads and highest rated on Goodreads. Do you agree? I'm actually going to have to go look on Goodreads and check.
A few moments later.
I think probably my lowest rating on Goodreads was My lowest rating was a book I like is Once Upon a Smile, Maria Story, a sweet retelling of a fairy tale, The Princess Who Never Smiled. This book I found really long, and it's one where I never got into the story, and that, like, I just never really got into the story. Like, that one, I just never got into the story. Like, that, probably, if I had to say my frustrating reading, that would be that one. Then probably, like, my highest rating on Goodreads would probably be, like, Love Spelled by Nikki Jarata. This one I gave, like, a total of 5 stars. This one literally just kept me wanting to read more and more and find out what's going. Like, I really enjoyed the story and it was so engaging. Like, I really enjoyed that one. Book with the most unique concept you read this year? What's my most unique concept this year? I think I'm probably going to say this book. And that is Christmas at Tiffany's. I think I just found, like, I've not read a book before that had the concept of, like, you've been, like, betrayed and that by your lover, and, like, working out where you belong, like, trying out 3 different cities, New York, Paris, London, like, trying out those different places. I thought that was a unique concept that I hadn't read before. So that I would say. Book you read this year that you would like to reread? What would I like to reread this year? I think probably, what would I like to reread again this year? I'd like to reread Tender is the Night by S. Scott Fitzgerald. That I would totally reread. And then, because this year I did do quite a lot of rereading of books and stuff. Then I'd maybe said also like to reread The Bernie's Days by George Orwell. Like, that was his first book. So I'd like to reread and relive that experience of reading his first book. Goodreads, reading goal, reflecting. I think, like, I didn't really have a reading goal for 2024 ready. I just kind of wanted to reread some books that I hadn't read in a while, which I think I definitely did. Like, I think doing my TBR prompt jars and that actually meant I reread some books I hadn't read in a while. So that, I would say, that I think I achieved. I think in terms of what I would be prioritizing for my goal next year is, I think I think my goal for next year is going to be to, like, finish reading this series, which I think I will do. Like, these are 2 pretty achievable goals, like, finish this series, which I will only have, like, 2 more books to go in this series so far. Like, obviously I think there'll be more books coming into this series. And then another goal of mine is to, like, start this series, which this is Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. I really want to start this series. Like, this year's been me starting to get into, like, the TikTok books and that. Like, next year watch me sat here with a Colleen Hoover book in my, like, this series I really want to start, as well as, like, one of my goals is to, like, start that series and, like, actually finish the series I'm currently reading and, like, start this series as, like, my goal for next year. So that is pretty much this video. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.